see people with a lot of challenges, a lot of mental illness, a lot of drug and alcohol abuse.
They're probably the people most in need.
They can be judged every single day.
And starting from nothing is extremely difficult.
At risk of dying, at risk of dying, at risk of...
People end up dying in homelessness, and that's a tragedy that is unnecessary.
Every homeless person deserves to have quality care.
Good morning. Anybody home? Anybody here?
It's a matter of survival. These vulnerable population do not have access to what regular tools of healthcare can deliver, and they cannot get the healthcare that they need the most. Trinity Health currently has 3 street medicine programs in Pittsburgh, and in Atlanta, and in Columbus, which integrates acute care, population health, and addresses the needs in the community through community health and well-being.
Street medicine is us going out onto the land and finding people who are living in homelessness. And some of the struggles, there are certain areas within Columbus, like every large metropolitan area, where there are people who are really vulnerable. And our mission says that we're going to see everyone regardless of their ability to pay. We kind of take that to a new level.
We bring medical supplies, we bring shoes, shirts, batteries, flashlights, whatever they need to help them live out on the land. They know us, they know that Jeep, they know that Mount Carmel sign, and they know that they can trust us. We're somebody, for one, is not going to judge them whatsoever for whatever their situation is, that we're just going to help them.
There's a relationship aspect of it that's hugely important, because this is a population that has a lot of mistrust with systems, has been burned in the past or not been listened to. And so we really have to work hard to build that rapport and that trust with our patients. We're at places like soup kitchens, homeless shelters, different community sites like that. We have our coach, we have 2 exam rooms and a pharmacy, and so we do a setup clinic right on the spot there. The patient sees our nurses and sees our caseworkers, and then goes and sees the provider.
We see where the need is, and we go where the need is. Our people who work on the van need to know the people who are on the street. And they also need to work with the people on the van and have very good relationships with them, which they do have.
We really try to be creative and come up with a good plan for patients, and that proactive approach in saying, where's their housing at? Where's their physical health care? Where's their mental health care? And so looking at those different areas of their life holistically.
It may not be a victory every day, but it's worth it for us to be here so that when that window opens and somebody is ready to stop doing heroin, or ready to get housed, or just ready to talk about how can my life change or how can I get healthy, we're there.
One of the biggest blessings of being a part of a larger health system like Trinity is that we have partners that are providing street medicine services in Pennsylvania and in Atlanta, and we can learn from each other on an ongoing basis.
We're all a little different, but we all have the same basic focus. Atlanta has suffered from not having the real, true, comprehensive approach to taking care of the poor and underserved populations. That means that the safety net, mercy care, is so important to responding to those needs.
Homelessness, it looks different for each person, and it's going to look different for each community. Mental health is a huge concern for people sleeping out on the streets, and substance abuse issues as well. We have psychiatrists that are staff that come out with us. We'll go out, try to talk to people, engage with people. We have all of our vital signs equipment, lab equipment, wound care equipment, all that stuff.
You have to be very sensitive to a person's space because, even though they're homeless, they're sleeping outside under a bridge, whatever, on a sidewalk, that's still like their space. Oftentimes it takes a little while before we even talk about what services we offer. Some people react very strongly if you use the words mental health or psychiatry. So normally the angle is like, how are you feeling today? Are you feeling all right? We have nurses, nurse practitioners, and doctors. And that reinforces, the power of that relationship and lets them know that, someone does care.
And then we do work on transitioning them back into clinic. Sometimes we'll go into their first appointment with them just to advocate for them and help them feel more comfortable in the clinic setting. We're gonna walk through this heartbreak together. We're gonna, crisis by crisis, deal with it and bring that treatment to get people well enough to pursue housing and to pursue wellness.
The program has matured to the point where we're now following a lot of people that we started there out on the streets, and now we're following them into a more stable life.
We go visit clients who were formerly homeless. They've transitioned into a permanent supportive housing. It's not fair just to give a key and expect someone to be successful. It's just too much of a leap.
When you're used to sleeping out under the stars for 15 years within traffic noises and all sorts of things going on around you, and I put you in a little apartment with 4 walls and it's quiet and it's dark and you don't know what to do with yourself, that transition is incredibly difficult. So we've implemented housing rounds to help with that transition.
Our one focus is just to see them, and check in. We do vital signs, check blood pressure, make sure that they're doing okay, they're stable, and then let's start thinking about, the human experience again, and what gives you joy? What are your gifts? A lot of folks will say that, you guys gave me hope. And it was like, how do we do that? You guys, you just saw me and you sat with me.
So that communal spirit, that compassionate but fierce compassion that the team members pretty much all exhibit.
I wish every city, I wish everyone could have this opportunity. People don't have to have insurance. They don't have to have an ID. Even if today they don't want to tell me their name, we can still see them, we can still care for them.
We also attract people who really are committed to doing something for the greater good.
They're unflappable. They go with the flow, and at the same time, they do it in such a caring and really tremendous fashion.
It has to be innate. If you have a love for the people, you're born with it. It's your DNA. It's what you love to do every day.
I love coming to work. If anything, I get upset when I can't come to work.
I just can't imagine doing anything else. It's that rewarding.
Hearing people's stories, that's really the heart of why I keep doing this.
This is why God put me here. I believe that. Yeah, I've been doing it for 20 years, and I love every day I come here.
Whenever someone says to me something like, you guys never make me feel bad about who I am or what I am, that's it. That's all we need.
I think there's more joy in heaven in that kind of work than anything else.
There was a couple and a gentleman sleeping behind this auto parts store, and we got them off the streets. And there was a gentleman who lived in front of the liquor store, and he now has an apartment.
I learn so much from our patients. Their resilience never ceases to amaze me.
It's not just like a humanitarian effort. This is I think a holistic kind of approach to an individual. We're not just trying to fix your body or your mind, but that's God using us to fix people's souls and for our souls also to be repaired in that process.